How's it going, everyone? Hope y'all been having a really good day so far. My name is Ward. Welcome back to Sigmas and Gamers. And today we got some recent report that the Bioshock creator Ken Levine made a mention that his next game has been reportedly in you know what? If you can tell right here saying that. So yeah, it looks like it's gonna be might take a little time. I'm before we'd like to see what he's up to next. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into this article by IGN. Which starts off saying that Ken Levine has acclaimed video game, the acclaimed video game developer behind the Bioshock series began to work on his next project with the studio Ghost Story Games around 8 years ago. And since then, according to the reports of Bloomberg, the game has allegedly entered development hell and has seen multiple reboots and changes in direction. Let's see, Levine's current project at Ghost Story, which has yet to be officially announced or given a firm release date, has taken much longer than his previous works, including the year and a half it took to develop the System Shock 2, and roughly 5 years it took to finish Bioshock. And obviously, the video game development is immensely challenging, and each project comes with its own unique challenge. But 15 current and former employees of Ghost Story Games say this is something more, and part of it is due to Levine's leadership style. Fascinating. I wonder what he could actually be up to these days. As someone who has, created a really nice legacy of games with Bioshock and System Shock over the years. So, following the closure of the Irrational games in 2014 and the start of Ghost Story Games, the new team began working on a premise Levine was calling a, in quotes, narrative Lego. He wanted to create a game that would make sure every person's experience was a unique one, which this meant characters reacting differently based on the player's reactions, and different scenarios playing out each time depending on what was chosen before. Kind of sounds like a traditional RPG, just like Mass Effect and Dragon Age. And so, the original plan was to release the game by fall 2017, and it was to be a sci-fi shooter like Bioshock set on a mysterious space station inhabited by 3 factions. Interesting. Looks like it's gonna take place in space, which is actually, just a little something that I want to see next in the future of the Bioshock series, to where we could actually have some kind of city on the moon. But a man can dream, to be honest. So the player's choices would determine how these 3 factions acted towards them. And following Levine's success in the past, publisher Take-Two Interactive Software had given him the creative freedom, and a few others in the gaming industry had to make this dream a reality. And while this, in quotes, like the oversight seemed idyllic at first, according to former employees, it will become detrimental to their work and mental well-being. Mike Knight, who was one of the ex-Irrational game developers at Levine, that Levine chose to help the start Ghost Story in 2014, shared a bit of an insight into what it was like to work in with Levine. And here's what he has to say. Ken is a very hard person to work for, Knight says. I think he tried a lot to change, and he really excels better at this company than Irrational because it is a smaller group of people. And while other employees say that the current team is optimistic about the project once again and thinks a release date could be 2 years away, Knight and half of the original team have already left. Ouch! When it continuously goes in cycle and you don't align with line anymore, you kind of get tired of being part of that. I was not really happy anymore. I gotta say that Ken Levine's new style leadership with this new company. I gotta say it looks a little bit on the edge based on what Knight has to say. So one of the biggest problems, according to the former staffers, is that Levine wanted to create a AAA experience as ambitious as Bioshock with a fraction of those who made it. And while it has served him well in the past and he has helped produce successful and beloved games, Levine's drive towards perfection has also led to a myriad of issues for those who went on these journeys with him. And as Bloomberg puts it, one constant on Levine's project is that he never seems content. Levine has a history in drama and aimed to be a screenwriter early on. And he was taught that the process for achieving greatness was to keep rewriting until everything was perfect. Yeah, it sounds like typical game development right there. And phone went off. So this meant months of work could be discarded if it wasn't up to standards. And in 2012, Levine told OzGamers that he, in quotes, probably cut 2 games worth of its stuff when developing Bioshock Infinite. Yeah, I guess we kind of saw that with the demos, like due to how ambitious it was, and then once we got the retail version, that the Bioshock Infinite was a very enjoyable experience. I gotta say, there was like a lot that was like cut out of Bioshock Infinite, and compared to what we saw in the demo, just showing how much that was like gonna be in the game, but then they kind of like cut things out due to hardware limitations and also time limitations as well to reach certain deadlines. But hey, that's kind of like how business kind of runs. So this philosophy has extended the Ghost Story project, and some even may even say weeks or months of work may be scrapped after Levine takes change after, in quotes, after playing the hot indie release such as the side-scrolling action game Dead Cells or the comic book inspired shooter Void Bastards, as he insisted some features be overhauled to emulate those games. And many of these factors contributed to the game not being ready by fall 2017, and while may be frustrating for many here inside the company and out, one positive did come out of in quotes, the lax approach to deadlines, minimize crunch time, and welcome change from Irrational, 3 former employees say. So 8 years in, many have been wondering how long Take-Two will keep this project going, and Levine has apparently told staff that Ghost Story is but a quotes, run of error for the publisher of games like Grand Theft Auto, meaning Levine will most likely be given all the time he needs to create a new hit that can succeed at the level Bioshock has. Well, I wish for the best of him. And so while fans wait for the Ghost Story's first game, 2K has also announced that new Bioshock the new Bioshock game is in the works from an internal studio Cloud Chamber. But however, that project also appears to be ways away. And I gotta say, I'm probably gonna be up there be up there like 40 or 50 years old around the time when the new Bioshock comes out, but only time will tell. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this article, and I gotta say, a very interesting read, based to actually see what Ken Levine has been up to. Since he's a guy who was known for the Bioshock and System Shock series, but mainly the Bioshock series. he was actually best known for, and just seeing him actually kind of have these kind of little iffy decisions based on like where he's kind of like flip flopping in with this new company and just trying to say no, he's very unsatisfied with it based on the results of his new project, so they got to constantly revise it over and over again. And I gotta say, doing stuff like that can get very, very frustrating. But I think that's kind of how it is when it comes to running a business and trying to create a blue sea instead of a red sea. And even though that is a little basic concept of like having this new game coming out from this particular studio that he started up in, saying that, oh, I want to make a gaming experience that's going to be very unique to a lot of players, like for each individual player, to where they do is going to cause this or that to happen, or X, Y, or Z to happen, which is obviously a little something that we kind of saw in most previous games with the Mass Effect series, as I probably mentioned before in this video. But who knows, maybe might find something very unique with it, but only time will tell. But all I can say is I really hope for the best for Ken Levine, and he should definitely take as much time as he needs to actually make this game the best it could possibly be, and just see how it all plays out. And so therefore, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. And if you found it to be helpful and informative, then be sure to drop a like as always, and subscribe for more content like this. Hit the bell to be notified when my next video is going to drop. And if you have your own thoughts or opinions based on this recent news with Ken Levine's next game being in this kind of particular situation that's going to take a little bit more time than anticipated, then go ahead and sound it off in the comment section below and get a discussion going. And thank you so much for watching, and as always, we will catch you all in the next one.